friends, why are we taught from childhood to never eat what a stranger gives us? Nor should we tell them anything about ourselves. But what if you ignore these two things? Today's story is a true incident that happened with 16-year-old Kara Robinson. She is a normal girl like you and me, but Kara is quite mature. We see her at her friend Josiah's house. Both had turned off the lights yesterday. Because Josiah's parents are not at home, she thinks, why not go to her other friend Kara's house to stay over? Since her house is quite big, she has to ask her mom for permission. She gets busy with that, and Kara calls her mom, Sarah. Sarah is a working woman and has never forbidden her daughter to do anything because she knows that Kara has grown up and won't do anything like that. It would feel bad, and so far Sarah has never done anything. That's why she gives permission, and over there, Josiah's mom also says yes. Meanwhile, Josiah becomes angry in the washroom. Tucker goes outside to water the flowers. During this, she notices that a black sedan keeps roaming around the house repeatedly. But then she ignores it. Whenever this alley happens, she looks towards the car. Then the car stops and an adult man steps out. He approaches carrying a book towards Kara. I think I arrived home around the same time, so she moves forward freely. Then the man asks her, "Aren't your parents at home?" So, Kara says, "Oh no, this isn't my home, it's my friend's house." The man smiles and behaves as if he is very close to her. He then asks the same question in a slightly different way. "Aren't your parents at your friend's house?" So Kara says, "No." This is the mistake she makes, and how could this poor girl have known that she would have to pay such a high price for speaking up? The man points a gun at her neck and comes closer, saying, "Quietly get into the car and sit, or I'll shoot you right here." Kara completely freezes, she has no idea what's happening. At that moment, she did what she thought was right. She quietly goes and gets into the car. If she had screamed, maybe the outcome would have been different, but what if the man had shot her for doing so? A few moments before might have happened. Now, the man drives the car away, and Kara starts crying uncontrollably inside. She was unaware of what was going to happen next. Once, when the car stopped at a toll plaza after some time, she tried to escape, but didn't have the courage to do so. Meanwhile, the man comes and ties her hands and feet, and seats her inside a tube. He writes it down and then heads towards his home, and from here in the chapter of Kara's life. Some pages will be added so she curses herself each time she reads, wishing she had given up those days. Knocker comes outside, she sees that Kara is not there, water is falling. Like this, she couldn't go anywhere without telling, she was getting some bad vibes. So she calls her mom and tells everything. Without delay, she files a police complaint which reaches when she gets home. But the police officers were not believing her words. They thought she had run away from home on her own, or left with her boyfriend somewhere. Now she also calls Cyril Ryan, who is Kara's boyfriend, to ask, but he denies that anything of the sort happened. But still they were not willing to believe. Over there, Kara had reached home, the man takes her out of the tube and sits her down in the bedroom. Kara notices very strange things written there that could be used to harm someone. After this, the man takes action. Notebook and starts questioning her, like her parents' names, her address, their phone number, how far she has studied. Is she a virgin? Everything, even asking about her body measurements. In that man's eyes, we could clearly see his bestial nature, he wasn't making any demands. To prove just how crazy he is about girls, knowing that Kara is the same age as his daughter. Kara tells him everything, then the man says that whatever I say from now on you will have to agree, and you must address me as Mr. If anyone actually attempts to run away or engages in any underhanded actions, I will promptly shoot you without hesitation. But then that man does something to her, an injury that Kara will probably remember for her entire life. Tears were in Kara's eyes, she tried to stop him repeatedly, but he wasn't going to listen. After everything happened, when she comes into the house, she notices that there is a women's comb in the room with hair in it and some cream that girls use. At least she had confirmed that there is definitely a girl in this house. After that, he takes her outside and seats her on the sofa with some adult movies. Meanwhile, Kara starts to think about how she now has to get out of here. that the time she spends here will be just as bad for her. That guy is walking with her like a shadow. He provides only 2 or 3 minutes, but such a gap is not enough for her. Kara was waiting for the right opportunity, the right time. She wants to first learn about him, what his name is, what he does, why he's doing this. Therefore, she starts talking, pretending that she likes all of this and is enjoying it. So he tells her his name is Johnny and he is a shop owner. When Kara asks about his family, he silences her. He's not that stupid, he knows exactly what she wants to find out. So he assures her that when I'm satisfied with you, I will leave you. But I don't know when that will happen. If after you're free you go to the police, I will first do something with your mom. She won't be respectable enough to show her face anywhere. After a few hours have passed, he takes Kara back to the bedroom again. An evening comes just like that, but now Kara has understood him. Therefore, her next step is to oversee all the things in that house. So she followed all his orders. Joni also thinks that this little girl, what can she possibly do? But a lot was going on in Kara's mind. She now starts to lend a hand in his work. Jisai is granted permission to go to areas in his house that she hadn't seen before. Through this, she learns some additional things. For example, the name of her family doctor is on her calendar, which was marked 2 days later, and the person who did that marking has now gone to design line. This has become a certainty that there really is a girl here and whoever is here will leave in 2 days, but who that is hasn't been identified yet. But whatever things she has seen will help her a lot because she is confident that in 2 or 3 days she will definitely escape from this house. And then this will loosely help justice. Meanwhile, she notices another thing, there is a box kept in the kitchen. Joni is very sensitive about that. If she even looks at it, he starts to scold her. At night, she again hangs out with Kara. So he takes her to the same place, sits with her, and observes privately. He wants to see if there are any headlines about Kara's disappearance, but unfortunately, there weren't any. There was no such news coming in which Kara's name is present. Seeing it, he tells her, "Look, no one cares about you, so no one has any authority over you." Upon seeing this, Kara breaks down after more than 12 hours since she went missing. Meanwhile, we see Sarah. She is trying every possible means to convince the police that whatever has happened is indeed true. Something terrible happened to her daughter. She reaches out to all her sources, seeks their help, but no one believes her, and finally, an old police officer takes her report and starts the case. The scene returns to Kara, for whom the scariest night of her life is about to unfold. He allows others to go to the washroom alone. It was also the right opportunity for him to escape. But for some unknown reason, he doesn't. Maybe it's not the right time. The night has gone on long, and she doesn't know whom to ask for help by going outside. So she waits for morning, but after spending too much time in the washroom, John continues to maltreat her, locks her back in the same stall, and threatens her by placing a weapon over her head, saying that if anyone is clever, I have recorded everything and I will leak it all. Kara apologizes, but she deserves her punishment. Johnny troubles her with some strange things. He abuses her, tying her hands and feet throughout the day. He makes her sleep near him as Kara quickly falls asleep from daily fatigue, but he becomes extremely active each morning. She notices that Johnny is still sleeping and she is also sound asleep. This is the right moment. If she doesn't act, she will always keep blaming herself. Therefore, she somehow loosens the screws of the handcuffs without any tools and then, using her hands, frees her feet. But right now, her biggest challenge is at the main gate, which has been locked with a large wooden block. But they say that when in trouble, even a donkey becomes a lion. This is human nature when facing such adversity. He uses the strength he has conserved his entire life for. Kara also uses that strength here. And with all her might, she removes the wooden block, causing the gate to finally open, and she is under the open sky. But there is no time for her to be happy yet. Because Johnny can ambush at any time and he is so insane that if he sees her running, he will shoot from behind. Therefore, Kara approaches Foreign Road, stops a nearby car, requests help, which they agree to. Next scene shows Kara at the police station. Everyone there was behaving as if they didn't know her at all. She tells them that she has been missing for the past 18 hours and asks, "What are you all doing?" After that, she tells them everything and then also calls Sarah to inform her, but the most urgent thing right now was to catch Johnny. Therefore, those people take Kara to the house whose address they provide. They had brought Jukara up to here, where the police interrogate a man according to their sources. There is no such man living there. She comes out and says that he has many birds and he always keeps his window closed. He owns a black sea sedan. Then the man understands who she's referring to and takes her to his house, but her friends had fled. Upon waking, he inevitably searched for Kara. The police showed him photos of everyone in the apartment to help identify her. They show her the photos so she can identify him, and among them, she recognizes him as well. It turns out his real name is Richard, not Johnny. And he lives here with his wife. After everything is confirmed, the house is raided, and all the things Kara had told are true. Everything was as it was, and then the turn comes to that box, which was very sensitive for Vickard. When interrogated by police, Kara loses consciousness. She wasn't the first victim jailed for this. That box contained countless shattered dreams of girls of all ages, dreams that Richard caused to break every day. Where countless may have pimped her, or perhaps Richard did so. The police also received newspaper clippings that had printed about her. She had been missing years ago, but upon seeing the gravity of this case, a new officer joined, whose arrival accelerated the investigation even further. Kara is taken to the hospital to check if she has any injuries. But there was nothing. Thank God, but the wound was internal and not visible. The question of how long it will take to heal keeps recurring in Kara's mind. When she meets her mother, they embrace tightly and cry profusely. In the meantime, a female officer arrives, uncovers more details. Kara reveals everything when questioned. She starts giving detailed information, even recalling her family doctor's number, making Sarah unable to believe. He can't believe his daughter has grown up so much. He is very proud of this man because, thanks to his bravery, she is free today. During the investigation, the officer finds the same notebook in which he wrote about Kara. But when they flipped through the pages, there were stories of 2 other girls written in it, whose fates were not as good as Kara's, but they were the same age. Richard kept them locked up for several months and then, in a baiting trap, he locked Kara up. Then, when he was fed up, he killed both of them and threw their bodies into the lake. All of this has been going on for the past 5 years. Now, upon learning all this, the officer couldn't believe it. Every time he thought it was just the mischief of a teenager. Maybe they ran away with some girl. But in the end, all they found were corpses for which someone else was taking the blame. The real killer is still roaming free. After a few hours, they learn about Richard's background. So they first go to his mother's house, where they also find his black car and his VW vehicle, which was the same. Those people tell them everything, but Janelia kept repeating over and over that her husband is a good-hearted person. He's a family man, how could he do this? But when questions were asked to his sister, she gave some very useful information. He said that he spoke with Richard last night and Richard was saying he was in a motel, so the police went there but still didn't find anything there either. It seemed like someone might have already warned her about this. Udarkara's life is slowly returning to normal mode. But her friends have now occasionally started ignoring her. The police are also telling her to stay at home because Richard is still out. He can do anything, someone new comes to her house every day. Police officers are roaming around everywhere, which Kara doesn't like. People repeatedly reminded her she was a victim, but she showed courage and survived, proving she is alive today. But it's people's job to say that. One day, Kara becomes extremely annoyed and stands outside. A skeptical police officer approaches her. Initially, she was said to have run away, and today he still treats Kara as a victim. But Kara, answering his questions, says that there is no need for them to pity her. If he had done his job properly from the beginning, he wouldn't have to face this day now. He was forgetting her confidence, which made her fall silent when she heard it. Afterwards, Kara attends Ryan's mass because she shouldn't have to live suffocatingly anymore. Meanwhile, the police realize that Richard is coming back inside the station. So they deployed officers all around, in which finally he is caught. Because of these hard trials, the hardships of prison, and the abuses she faced, out of fear, she killed only a few because when it comes to yourself, everyone feels afraid. But friends, Kara wasn't easily happy. She wanted the world to see her and learn from the mistakes she made that day. She hopes no one else repeats this. The same officer reassures and encourages her, understanding everything happened quickly. But he tells her that it's good for her that everything turned out right in the end. However, Kara silently wonders how many more years it will take. She doesn't even know how to forget all of this because these are memories that will surely come back to her someday, every day, every month, every year. And she will have to handle it, but she is ready. She tells her mom that she will try and show her that she is brave and not a coward. This is where the story ends. This whole story was based on a true event that happened in the United States in 2002. It involves a 15-year-old girl named Kara who was held captive by a 43-year-old man in his house for 17 hours. He severely abused her on multiple occasions, mistreated her consistently, and desperately wanted her to acknowledge him just as he did with others. I supported them, but it didn't work out, after which they shared their entire story with the world. Let me know your thoughts on the story in comments below.